Professor Mallet has a dream. A dream that almost borders on obsession, to build the first real-time machine that can transport humans through time. If achieved the dream, he will try to travel back on a personal mission to save the life of his father. Mallet has been intrigued with time and time travel since childhood. Being a physics teacher for 3 decades, Mallet published his first formal paper describing the research time travel in physics letters more than a decade. The brilliant scientist, who has appeared in various science programs, says the concept for your time machine uses laser light to form a circulation loop, creating a deformation or time instead of relying on a gravitational tunnel. In theory it should work, he argues, as Einstein proved that mass and energy are the same. Hazards can wait a time traveler. The journey time is coming, and coming sooner than you think. Chernobyl and time machine model. The journey time is coming, and according to a Russian engineer has arrived. Vadim Alexandrovich Chernobyl claims to have built a time machine operating in the Moscow Aviation University. Unlike the model of time machine Mallet, Chernobyl uses the deformation of the extremely strong, creating a temporal vortex magnetic fields. Both new approaches to both scientific eludes one of the thorny issues of time travel, the problem of the mass. Scientists have proposed all sorts of exotic means to achieve time travel. Using wormholes, artificial or natural, or black holes are 2 of the most popular concepts of time travel. Both of these methods are not only unworkable, but require space travel probably faster than the journey of light and energy that can overcome the initial burst of a supernova explosion, where time begins and where it ends. But beyond those few obstacles it might work, or at least the mathematical work on paper. Chernobyl says its time experiments prove that their model works. But unlike the Russian engineer, the approach to time travel Mallet defends foresees the creation of a temporary loop intricate. In theory, time travel is possible if the space can be deformed. Experiments testing relativity and the effect over time within regions deformed by gravity warps prove that facilitate time travel. The leap forward that makes the spatial deformation Mallet is not the mass, but with light. His hypothesis depends on the creation of ties of time. If they exist, the time travel becomes possible. Mallet believes there. If time loops tested, he predicts real-time travel can be achieved within a decade and regular travel time, before the end of the century. Click on the image to enlarge. The concept of time travel in orthodox Mallet, which can operate building a time machine, to test his theory of time loop. Mallet is building a time machine that can sit on a table. Using coherent light of lasers, try to bend light with a series of mirrors specially designed and strategically placed, successfully causing the bending of light itself, creating a circle of light transmission should deform the surrounding space, or at least I expected. To measure the existence of any distortion created by the machine, the subatomic particles will skyrocket through the adjacent space. The duration of these particles or lifetime dash can determine if there is a deformation and, if so, how strong is the warp that the machine has created. The longer the life of the particle, the stronger the deformation and the larger the potential gateway in time. Does time exist even when traveling through that? More importantly, a longer life of the particles also means that the particles have traversed time and have traveled into the future. The grandfather paradox and the time traveler the paradox. If you kill your grandfather, still will exist? A famous time traveler paradox. A man travels back and then finds and kills his grandfather teenager. How could exist in the first place if he broke the lineage that eventually produced by killing his grandfather, thus preventing the birth of his father or his mother traveler. The time traveler should not exist. It is a paradox. Or not? The last restart changed the timeline and create a new universe. It is not a problem, says Mallet. Traveling to the past creates another timeline and the future is not present from which you started the trip. Everything has changed. The time is restarted. The reality today remains the same, and is not affected by what changes in the past. So the paradox is resolved by the multiverse. Killing a grandfather creates a new universe, a branch, that has a different future. But it also means that at infinity, in the ever-expanding multiverse, a time traveler to go to the past could never return to the world and time which originally departed. A timely mission to save the life of a father. Mallet began his quest to solve the mysteries of time travel while he was still a child. His father died of a heart attack when the physical future was only 10 years. The death of his father at 33 was a cathartic event that galvanized Mallet into a lifelong quest to change what was and restore the past in one of your choosing. The classic science fiction of H.G. Wells, The Time Machine, opened his eyes to the possibility that the time could be conquered, and in a sense it would provide the ability to control life and death by manipulating the stream of time. The universe began with light. Time travel might be possible. The premature death of a man that young Mallet worshipped led the boy to the pursuit of a career as a scientist, to delve into the mysteries of relativity, quanta, deformations and black holes, string theory, all open questions, and emerging knowledge that might lead to the creation of a portal in time that will allow you to save the life of his father. Despite that reads like a novel, the story is true and is what fuels the foundation of amazing and perhaps achievable Mallet dream.